President Trump saying the U.S. will be working with Iran to make sure the regime does not enrich uranium for nuclear weapons. He made his comments this morning, one day after both nations agreed to a temporary ceasefire. KTLA's Eric Spillman in the newsroom now with the latest. Eric, good morning.
Morning, Jessica. It's important to point out that what the president is demanding and what Iran has agreed to are two different things. Iran still has 970 pounds of enriched uranium, but this morning a ceasefire, a very shaky ceasefire, is in effect, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the U.S. has achieved what he called a decisive victory.
President Trump forged this moment. Iran begged for this ceasefire, and we all know it. As the President truth this morning, a big day for world peace. Iran wants it to happen. They've had enough. Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming victory on the battlefield.
The president posted this last night, subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. We've already met and exceeded all military objectives. We received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it is a workable basis on which to negotiate. The president announcing the truce minutes before his deadline to Iran was set to expire. He had promised that if Iran didn't agree to a deal, he would wipe out a whole civilization with massive strikes on the country's power plants and bridges. Now, in the early days of the war, the president had demanded Iran's unconditional surrender, but late yesterday, the leader of Pakistan brokered a ceasefire and the president signed on. Delegations from the U.S. and Iran are set to hold talks in Islamabad on Friday, and although Iran has said it will open the Strait of Hormuz, it may still try to collect tolls from ships that pass through that waterway, and shipping companies are still deciding if it's safe to use. Still, investors are hopeful. This morning, the price of oil dropped sharply, and stock markets around the world soared. Operation Epic Fury, as the war was called, lasted for more than 5 weeks. The U.S. and Israel killed many of Iran's leaders and hit Iran's weapon systems with thousands of airstrikes. The U.S. also targeted factories in Iran that make missiles and drones and destroyed 80 to 90% of them, according to the Pentagon.
What little they have left buried in bunkers is all they will have. They can still shoot, we know that. Their command and control is so decimated they can't really talk and coordinate. So they still may shoot here and there, but that would be very, very unwise. But they can no longer build missiles, build rockets, build launchers, or build UAVs. Their factories have been razed to the ground.
Overnight, supporters of the Iranian regime held a demonstration in Tehran when they learned of the ceasefire. They burned U.S. and Israeli flags and shouted, "God is great" and "Death to America." Iran's vice president declared that the era of Iran had begun because Trump had failed to destroy the Islamic Republic. This morning here in this country, critics of the president say the war was hardly a victory for the U.S. because Iran hasn't made any concessions about its nuclear program.
We also have no curbs on their ballistic missiles, so while we destroyed a bunch of them in the course of this conflict, they've also been using them quite effectively against our allies, projecting power in ways they never have before, and we don't see any provisions in this deal to prevent them from having ballistic missiles in the future. So we can celebrate a ceasefire because this war was not going well for us, but we should also acknowledge that we had a ceasefire before Trump started this war of choice.
Iran's 10-point plan, which President Trump called a workable basis on which to negotiate, includes these demands, according to state media: the lifting of all sanctions on Iran, continued Iranian control of the Strait of Hormuz, U.S. military withdrawal from the Middle East, an end to attacks on Iran and its allies, and finally, the acceptance of enrichment for Iran's nuclear program. A lot of those elements are going to be a problem for U.S. negotiators and for the president, especially the nuclear part. This morning, President Trump is saying the U.S. will work with Iran to dig up enriched uranium that is buried underground in Iran. Iran did not confirm that it agrees to that plan.